What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&d, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClanahan, but my buds call me Bam. Holy shit, dudes! What the fuck? What fucking happened last week? I get done, and Steph comes running up to me with some numbers. We shattered our previous viewer record last week, hitting, I think it was like 157 or something. Like, oh my god, guys. I jumped around. It warms my heart so very much to see this thing kind of grow and just find a community and just build. I don't know what else to say, man. Honestly, I get too emotional when I talk about it, so I don't want to cry. But thank you guys from the depths of my heart. I know that I speak for the cast and everybody involved. Like, this thing is just, it's all good. There's like nothing evil in this, and it's like a rare thing in your life to get to just celebrate something pure and beautiful and good with great people. And fucking A, I consider myself blessed, and it is my absolute joy to help bring this little piece of magic to you guys every single week. So thank you so much for hanging with us. Big ups to all of our long-term buds. Like, we're seeing people that have subbed for like 9 and 10 months now, and it's like those people that have been with us on this long ride. We love you. We love all the buds. Our old school buds, have a little special place just because you guys helped get us where we are now. And look at this fucking beast, man. World dominance is the next goal. So once we rule the world, it'll be a more chill place, man. Just D&D and weed every day. That'll be your job. Nine hours of work a day in the D&D mines. No, so seriously, thank you guys so much. This is it's such a joy. I'm a little high already, so I might be pontificating early, so I'm just gonna shut my mouth and bring in, let's face it, the best part about Weed&d, 5 of my favorite human beings in the entire world. But in order to do that, I gotta pass this magical joint through the fibers of the internet to my dear and wonderful friend, Brenna. Hey, Brenna, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Bam. I'm having such a good time, and I'm about to have an even better time getting into it with the Ferocious Five. Speaking of one of my most favorite people, thank you for coming back to us and for kicking ass with us, Mills, Abby, Dandy.
I'm gonna grab that. Ooh, yeah. Hi, Abby Dandy here, aka Tynna Smoothhands, and I feel blessed to even be with us today. Ooh, it's been a journey, but you know what? I'm ready to get right back into it. What do you have for me today, Drewby?
Ooh, thanks, baby. What up, y'all? Drew, Thorcus the Dwarf, looking slim and trim. I trim my shit up. That's right. I'm fucking 12 again. But I'm already short as fuck, so you probably thought I was way young. Anyway, Papa's 199, but you didn't know that.
It's like a tortoise.
Smart guy? Alright, anyway. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. Glad you guys are with us. I forgot. Oh, yeah, we're with Boxxo, right? Yeah, that's an automatic fun thing going on. So, glad you guys are here with us. Best friend, here dropping it to you. You ready, best friend? Coming on in. Coming in that. Ooh.
Oh ho! Came in nice and hot. Thank you, best friend, and thanks everyone for joining us once again for some more fucking D&D. Jake Taylor here is Real Author Von, a little more clean-shaven than usual as well. Best friend, we had the same idea. But I hear there's a legend that if you smoke weed with your favorite people, your beard it'll grow twice as fast. Let's see if it works. Gotta test it. Gotta stress test it. And maybe one day I can have a beard like my good friend Gus. What's going on, Two Blunts? Ooh.
Yo, what up, Jake? Hey, it is your boy Gus, Two Blunts Langley. As you can tell, I've been smoking with my buds. I will be playing Divot, the Revenant, Bard, Lock, human gnome hybrid thing, and we're about to kick it off. I can't wait to see what happens. Gang, gang. You're up, Bam.
Made it back. No breaks, no tears. What a powerful, wonderful thing the internet is. Well, guys, we got us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but we like to take a lighter, like my little In Pizza We Crust lighter here. He's still going. Look around, make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. Lighters up. Oh, gosh, let's play some fucking D&D, guys. Weed&d. that gets me hyped every single time. Big shout out to our man Sandy Stein, who does all the original music for this show. A titan of men. But if you'll please allow me to set the mood. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they were recovering from their epic battle with Shren, Oldbuck, and the Syndicate. Despite their best efforts, Shren made off with the Luck Blade, with the curse of the blade the only thing left between Shren and its ultimate power. Knowing Shren to be a lover of magical relics, Tynna deduced that the Five should continue onward, toward the den of the green dragon Harnax, in hopes of finding something they might be able to offer as leverage to get the sword back. It was then that Divot reached out with his telepathic magics and called upon the strange goblin they had once encountered at the very same crossroads before, the flamboyant and bizarre Boxxo. Now, being keen to the area, Boxxo promised the Five that he would tell them the way to the den of Harnax and requested a favor in exchange. For Boxxo had seen a strange goblin with skin of jade that appeared to cast a spell and disappeared within. His curiosity piqued, Boxxo sent in a crew of 5 goblins to learn the nature of this one goblin. Having not returned, a worried Boxxo wishes them found. He informed the 5 that the strange cave, which seems to be singing a magical song, would lead them beyond the barrier of the druids into the heart of the Malachite Mountains, where the dragon's den resides. All right, guys, we jump back in. You know, you guys are all standing at the crossroads in between the Dryads, Colt, Emerella, and Nombuldir to the north. You know, you've been here a couple different occasions now, some more extravagantly epic than others. But currently you stand, you know, under the watchful protective gaze of your good ally Boxxo. Who's, you know, at this point, you know, the stone golem still standing nearby with Ubaru, you know, the trees chattering all around you, their leaves seemingly changing colors, not matching the seasons, the sun still frozen in the sky, in the same place it has been since the great druid Achaeus froze it and called down the silver rain upon the Shattered Isles. Currently, you're all kind of standing listening to this, you know, willowy song that kind of echoes out of the cave beyond. You know, the little contraption that Boxxo presses to his ears helps you focus in on the tune. I have to stop right now because, holy crap, dudes. Oh my gosh, this is my great joy. We had a Boxxo art submission. Oh, this is from our man Giuseppe Green, or Sean. What do we call you? Do we call you Sean? Do we call you Giuseppe? You, the guy that runs the studio, the guy that's doing the work right now, is the guy that drew this. Who drew it? Yes. You son of a bitch.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
yes.
also for you. What a glorpy answer. So yes, you see this phenomenally handsome fellow standing there, flamboyantly dressed, white streaks of paint marched down his eyes, the red matted berries around his mouth, jingles and jangles and small clasps and bells that jingle every time he moves as he does handstands and jumps around. You see behind him the colorful mountain of the Malachite Mountains, once, you know, mostly green, hence their name. You now see all these vibrant hues of blue flowers, orange flowers, this strange taint of the smell of cinnamon in the air that comes with the Feywild. Something is amiss in this mountain. And you now look down the mouth, this cave opening before you, and it feels like you can almost hear the mountain itself groaning from within. As you listen, getting closer to the cave, you hear the shifting sound of stone inside, as if something were moving around in there. Quite a sight. But for now, you stand with Boxxo and Ubaru, and surrounded by goblins and trees. What do you do?
Well, I just want to say if that mountain turns out to be an adamantos, I'm gonna be fucking pissed at you.
I'm be Will Man. real angry.
I'm gonna be real mad.
It's cool.
No, let's just go climb into that big mouth hole and find these goblins.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think
What
we're
were-
just.
Wait,
let's-
what were the goblins' names? It was something
Um,
fun.
Oh.
All right, so it was Bingle, Bangle, Jingle, Jangle,
And fuck.
and Fuck. It was Bingle, it was Bangle, Jingle, Jangle, and then and Boxxo's personal favorite, Fuck. That's retconned.
Jingle,
That is now
Jangle,
canon
That's-
in the
oh,
WeeDnD
wow.
universe.
It's just
It's,
a-
you know how like the history of like surnames, how like it's all like or like last names is because it was something that you did. Like a Smith is somebody that was like a Smith and a Smither.
Yes.
Like you know, so it just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder about every single one of them.
And why does
Yo,
Boxxo
yeah,
like
he
him
sent
so
in a
much?
crack team for sure.
Wait, he had Bingle and Bangle? Oh shit.
Oh man.
I can't wait for the art.
And fuck.
Oh, I can't lose back.
I gotta stop
Oh,
dropping
right.
batches of 5 people on our artists. Could you draw 5 unique but individual people that are kind of alike and have silly names?
But one that's not, and
But
we know.
It's Jingle.
Stay the
It's just
fuck away. Stay. I'm
weird.
sorry. Excuse me.
Back
But
the
stay the hell away.
Stay away.
I respect the fact that Boxxo cares this much about his goblins, even though he obviously is in charge of hundreds and hundreds of goblins. And it's sad to me because I know ultimately you can't save them all.
Mm.
But maybe we can save these ones.
Maybe.
And if that's what everybody wants to do, then
I
I think we got a
agree.
shot.
I agree as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because it reminds me of Chaboys, you know? Like, Chaboys, I would go to the ends of the earth or send the strongest 5 I know to go after Chaboys. So,
Ja.
shop.
Yeah, no, Divot, you referenced something that's kind of important. You know, every world of D&D has their own mythos, and Everendell, the world we live in now, is no different. But goblins, by and large, are considered pretty much just chaotic, evil little minions of worse things that don't have enough, structure to be leaders of any kind. You don't hear of great goblin cities or anything like that. So Boxxo, not only by, conversing with you guys, trading with you guys, sharing information with you guys, but more importantly, this sign of compassion. You see the fear in his darting little eyes, hidden behind the monocle that he wears. You notice the genuine concern, and that he feels bad. He's too scared to go do it himself. And so he's held in that place that many people are in the prime material plane, where they're just in need of a hero.
Or 5.
Yeah.
5 do.
Yeah, don't forget y'all invented the high five last set.
Oh, yeah!
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
5.
Couldn't do it without Boxxo.
It's a magical thing. All right, yeah, so, Divot, you see he's touched, an arrangement has been made. My boys should know the way back. I don't know why they haven't come yet, but one favor shall be owed to your group for my people. And you see, kind of does like a more regal bow, almost as the ambassador for his people, rather than, a leader, like a gang leader or anything. You guys are still trying to, like, get what Boxxo is, but, in this most recent display, it's been nothing but care and concern for his people.
I bow back at him and then do a backflip out of the bow and look at him like, ah.
All right, let's hit me with that performance check, please. I know acrobatics it would normally be, but I'm sure you're doing it with flair.
Oh, yeah.
Of course he is.
The most Rick of flares.
If you say Ric Flair 3 times, and woo in your shower.
Don't.
Sorry, it's taking a little while to load.
Real talk. We've been fighting roll 20 tonight. It was like tough for us all to get
on
in.
Tuesday.
So yeah.
Oh no.
All right, with a brilliant 8.
That's actually a 1.
There is.
Oh,
There is.
Yep.
oh yeah.
You may have noticed there's a change in our sound cue. We're calling our ones shit crits from now on. We're still gonna take hits on them because I think it's hilarious that we've somehow managed to allow ourselves to take hits on 20s, ones, and then like twos, kinda, because like it's like two. We do the two thing now, so it's like we found a way to celebrate 3 out of our 20 options. It's pretty amazing. So yes, welcome shit crit, which is when you crit on a 1. We still take that.
So if I may, I assume I am unsuccessful.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Oh, you know what though? Divot, your hat of the Harlequin gives you advantage on performance checks. So I'm not gonna untake the hit that we took for the 1. I'm not about to apologize.
All right. Here's this. We'll split the difference.
Yeah, there you
As
go.
a performer, in the moment, I act like I couldn't do it to make him feel good because I beat him last time. But really, I did exactly what I wanted.
All right, Divot. He looks down at you as you land. Perhaps the beginning of your spin not that fancy, but your landing is perfect. And never a goblin to be shown up in a performance. Ooh, with a 22. You see, as you kind of land, you bow down to one knee. You let your back leg slide behind you and your hands open wide. And Boxxo, still bowing before you, looking up, you see his little smile. He runs up and then springboards off your knee that's extended out. And he just runs up, plants his feet on your shoulders, and then does like a little double backflip. You see his cloak made of owl feathers, just like owl bear feathers, just like gloriously sailing behind him in the wind as he manages 2 spins and lands perfectly in front of you. You hear a bunch of golf clapping from the trees.
All right, and I grab my collar and I'm like, then he wants to send us in.
So Brian, would you do me a favor and smell Boxxo for me? Give him a good snifferoonie so you can help us find these goblins.
So yeah, you see Brian, again, kind of looking at you with this new inherent wisdom that he's been growing as his true form, this Dracodile, has grown. You see you don't have to use like such rudimentary terms to talk with him. You just kind of tell him exactly what you want, and he seems to respond. So Brian, he goes over and you see his big long nose, giant 10-foot frame, big green dragon wings that sprout off of his shoulders. He kind of puts a sniff up Boxxo, who, only stands about 3 feet tall. And so he's, kind of able to smell the whole breath of him. And he walks his big, giant King K. Rool body over to the cave. And you see him kind of smelling, and he looks confused. He's like, and you see him kind of ruffle his nose through a couple tracks that head into the cave, and he's like smelling down the cave, and he looks back at you a little confused, but he like gets what you want him to do. There is some kind of trail, but like something's not adding up, and so he tells you, because he actually can, I forgot, you guys can actually communicate through his crocodile gestures. He says it seems like the trail goes many ways.
Okay, cool, good to know. I like to think too that when he was sniffing Boxxo, like, have you like a big dog sniffing you and putting its face so close? Like, I don't know, I don't know where I get that idea from, but like from like just getting real close and just doing like a snoof all the way up and like through his clothes and everything. Like, I like to think that he just gave him good.
Yeah, and you see Boxxo, a lesser man might have been a little scared in the moment, but Boxxo pulls his monocle out and is quite perplexed at this Dracodile. None of you have ever seen a Dracodile before, nor heard of one. It's not like it just got made up after he ate a penis or something. So it's like, in this moment, you see as he's kind of the same way he looked at Divot, where like almost every bit of Divot's body was magical in a way that interested him. So too as he looks at Brian, and he smells the burning magic in his mouth, and you can see he's just like, oh, quite powerful indeed. Looking through his monocle. But yeah, he, so that's your deal. You see Ubaru is kind of there. He not like trying to intervene or anything, but he steps forward and he says, "The 5. Where you go, I cannot follow, but I would be remiss if I did not help in forging your destiny. Where would you have me go?" You see his big bushy eyes. He kind of looks at Tynna mostly, but he's generally giving it to the entire group.
I feel his gaze, and I kind of turn back to the rest of the group. Where will Ubaru serve us most, friends?
I feel like maybe, what were you going to say, Thorokis?
I was gonna say he's got that sweet ass golem now.
He does.
Probably.
What's the golem's name?
God.
Oh, we had
damn
one.
it.
Yeah!
Coldstone.
Yeah, Cold Stone Steve Austin.
360.
Do you guys think that maybe he would be useful in Nombledeer when we have to go back that way?
I
Yeah,
think
quite
that-
easy to
that's
rally
right.
around something that we can all see.
Yeah. Ubaru, head to Nombledeer. If you can, inform us, right? And let us know what Shren is up to, and keep us informed.
Try not to draw
about it.
too much attention.
Yeah.
The giant stone golem. He's like,
And your bushy ass eyebrows. Yeah.
Yeah, super bushy. The bushiest eyebrows you have ever seen.
You won't stick out. You'll fit right in.
Yes, no, you see Ubaru, he's like, yes, best to forge on and learn what we can of the enemy. The armies are coming, no doubt. You see he kind of like turns, he taps the necklace a little bit, looks back on the golem, stands up. He says, this old man appreciates the protection you provide him. It is my great duty now to find you information that may help. So again, you guys could have sent him anywhere. Came to Lost, back to Emerella, so just know, like, as an NPC boon to you guys have always done really well with Ubaru, and he is kind of a guy capable of pretty great things. He has a lot of connections. So sending him ahead to Nombledeer will be a nice place you can go when you get there right off the bat that you'll know. So it's through kind of choosing what to do with those NPCs. We'll kind of broaden out some of the world effects. So yeah, that'll help with your guys' knowledge of Nombledeer. He specifically mentions that he'll look into mention of Shren Oldbuck, the Shale Feast, and any of the knowledge of, because if you'll recall, the Diesel army is on the way. That they're going to be the first to arrive, of the Steelborn nation. These machinations of metal come to life through magic. So he's basically going to go scope get as much information as he can, and that's where Ubaru and what is it, Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yes.
3-6 Cold Stone Steve.
Cold Stone.
Cold
Steve
Stone
Austin.
Creamery, Steve Austin.
Cold Stone Steve Austin.
Let's do that. Maybe they'll like play ball with us. We'll be like, D&D is the best with a Cold Stone Creamery.
Could
I roll for
Dude,
ice
he'd be
cream.
such a good mascot for them, just like
Yeah,
folding
dude.
the ice cream.
Good luck. Yeah, find somebody better than us. We'll be like, this is the
my
best thing you've ever had in your life. Oh my God.
But I look at Ubaru and I express my gratitude to him, and I'm forever in your debt. We all are, me especially. But we'll circle back. We'll rendezvous in Nombledeer.
You see, he wants to present something to you guys. He kind of shyly reaches behind himself and he pulls out this giant, you see it's this beautiful red leather-bound tome. And at the corner joints, it's all set with golden inlays. There's beautiful stones, multiple colors on the front. And you see he opens it, and he just kind of starts fingering through the pages. And your eyes all fall upon, as he's looking down at them. You see it's like a sketching of the hillside of Tilmore. And Divot, giving a grand performance as he skates across the top of the audience. You see him turn yet another page, and it's the dark, ominous Mirkwood, and the experience of being drugged by these shadows of Achaeus, where Martha met her untimely end. You see him turn a page, and there's this beautiful sketch of Martha Goutshire. For a moment, you haven't even, kind of allowed yourself to steal a thought about her in a while. And you see as he turns the pages, he's writing the story of his time with you. And so, as you all kind of, fondly look upon these small sketches and places, you see somehow he's even got sketches of the accursed church and, the city of Emerella and the bones of Harnax. It's as if he's entombing your story in this book. And so he looks up at you all and, with tears welling in his eyes, you see him, look at each of your faces warmly. It is not every day, even in the life of an old man, that you get to meet a hero. You should all know, in your wake, the world has been changed for the better. Though where it goes next, and he looks up at the top of the mountain, no one can be sure. He looks at you all. He pulls out this small white stone, and you see he crushes it. It turns into a little white powder and dust. And you see he drops a little bit of the dust on each of your shoes. May your shoes find you on a safe journey back until we meet again. And then you see he's like, and he jumps back and he steps on the foot of the golem, and the golem just starts walking off to the north as he's literally just kind of like riding on its leg.
There he goes.
Dope.
Later days.
Boom.
Right. Well, shall we? We're ready now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Just got a mirror. I'll gather up these little white stones that he dropped at our feet, chop them up, and
Ubaru got that good, yeah.
Yeah.
You just
yeah.
dropping
Y'all
that,
seen
bro?
Predator 2? It's going to be like that.
Why would he put it on the ground like a Super Nintendo game? Like, you have to crouch to pick it up.
Shoot, I saved and didn't pick it up, and I went to the next place, and now it's not there.
All right, I go into the tunnel. I like give little Brian a little like, and then we
I
head
checked
out.
for rabbits. Definitely.
Give me a survival divot in this moment. You know, you have a 360-degree vision. If there's anybody better suited at finding a thick rabbit, I can't think of them.
A web.
Is that survival?
That's
Yeah.
Sophia Rabbit.
Could I do a performance of looking for a rabbit? I'm like really in character, and I'm looking for a rabbit.
Oh.
All right. So, divot, yes, with a 4 on your survival. You notice that, in fact, the trees in the area around you are suspiciously absent of any small life. Birds, rabbits, squirrels, as if maybe this area has already been picked clean by some hungry teeth. You know, as you think about it, the chattering of the trees. You also notice one kind of interesting detail in this moment, Divot. As the eyes on your vest shift around, you feel like your sister is strangely always in focus. Like, whereas you're seeing the blurred outlines in 360 degrees and you can choose where to put your focus at any time, your sister always is in focus, in view. And so you're kind of, as you're looking around for these insects, you look down and you notice that the purple eye of Mithra Willowsong, the amethyst eye, unlike the rest of the eyes, is always fixed on Tynna.
Oh, that's
My
weird.
bae watching me.
So I see that and I'm like,
I'm trying to look over there now. But yeah, no, little strange detail about this particular eye. Even when nudged, I kind of hurt my eye when I did that. Just
all right. So
yeah.
I kind of think to myself, I'm like, all right, we can keep an eye on her.
I like it. A brotherly watchful gaze from the eye of a lover.
Well, I see everybody start to make their preparations. I see Devitt looking for rabbits, and I see Brunor and Brian doing the whole Boxxo thing over there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're kind of headed into action now, so I cast Shield of Faith over. I'm going to give it to Divot, Brunor, and Thoricus for some extra beefiness.
I think Shield of Faith is just one person. Am I wrong?
Oh, I thought it was 3!
I might be wrong. I'm not sure, but I think Shield of Faith is
She
just
said
one
me
person.
first. Me first.
Let me double check on that.
I think it was Aid that affected 3 people. Aid is the one where they get the temporary hit points. If
I
that's the
mixed
one.
up the names of the spells. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to do. I cast Aid.
Yeah, go ahead and cast it. Go ahead and cast just so everybody knows how many hit points they get and all that. If it, I didn't update Divot your healing word spell card. I forgot to do that. So just remember, if you cast it, it doesn't say. Just go ahead and roll the dice before it. In this case, there are no dice. Everybody just gets. So this is up to 3 creatures within range for 8 hours. This is dope. Mm-hmm. So whoever she chooses gets 5 temporary hit points. No. That's where I messed up last time. Aid is not temporary hit points. It raises your hit point max by 5.
Mm-hmm.
What?
For the duration of the spell. So for the next 8 hours, you have 5 more hit points. Now, it's not like temporary where they get knocked down. If you lose them and then get healed back up, You can go over the 5 again. You can refill that 5 up. Unlike temporary, which are just lost and then gone. So aid's dope.
Right up.
So
Sick.
when we change our hit points, we should keep the hit point maximum the same, but
I
the
would,
current
so
hit
you don't
points
forget.
5 points up.
What I usually do with cases like that, just because I'm, what do you know? I'm high a lot and might forget something like that to undo it. I would just like in your current hit points or something, write in parentheses either what your new maximum is or what your old maximum was. Just so you have something that'll help you in where your hit points are. I trust all you to be able to run that. But yeah, the cleanest way for roll 20 would probably be to actually change your max where it says max hit points to 5+. And then just remember to change it back after the 8 hours. What is super dope about this, it is not a concentration spell.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
Yeah, very nice.
I
Very
gotta
nice.
say, I don't think I've given aid its due. Like, that's actually a pretty good spell.
Very useful. So I kind of see the goings on, right? And then I dig around in my bag and I pull out piece. I keep cloth in my bag just for small rituals like this. So I tear off a piece of it and I'm concentrating all of my connection to Shantia's light and energy, and the little cloth bursts into flame, and I just blow the magic energy towards them.
Boom! You guys, collect the magic lash upon you from the little incantation of Tynna there. Awesome! 5 extra hit points, 5 to your max. And again, I apologize. That was a mess up by me in the past. So Divot, if you do your Mantle of Inspiration, those temporary hit points would actually stack. They're specifically called temporary hit points, and they have their own mechanic. Aid is kind of cool in that it's not temporary hit points. It's these 8 hours of extra 5 hit points. Very nice.
Fucking tight.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, speaking of that, I'll just go ahead and do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why not?
Good idea.
Right?
Yeah, so whoever,
I'm
I don't know how
so
many you can target,
inspired.
but yeah.
I'm so inspired.
So yeah, let me go ahead and hit that. Boom, boomsies.
Yeah.
So I can pick 4 people, I think. Is that correct?
Each of them a number.
Is this
Yes,
my
up to your,
charisma
no, your charisma
modifier?
modifier. Is it +4 still? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always assumed of it as a 20 charisma. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there. Okay. All right. So I give those temporary hit points to Tynna and Brenna. Excuse me. Fuck. I'm mixing up names.
Jingle,
I give
jangle,
it to Tynna.
jingle,
I give it to
jangle, and
Thorkis.
Oh my God.
I give it to Brunor. And I give it to Riel.
But it's so not me.
You said your name.
Yes, everyone but myself.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, you get the benefit of the temporary hit points. Is it up? Is it more than 5 now, or is it 5 now?
It's 8.
It's 8 now.
Oh.
Nice. And remember, those are temporary hit points. They sit at the top of your hit point pool, and once they're depleted, they're gone. If you get any other temporary hit points, whichever source is higher is what it is. They don't stack. They don't add up. So yeah, right now, anybody who received that blessing from the inspiration, you see the 6-eyed bear once more. The visage of the 6-eyed bear with Ubaru again. You're reminded of the Mirkwood, how much you've overcome since then, what you have lost. But in this moment, you're swelled with this inspiration that boons you guys with this temporary hit points.
Yeah, I'm like, the bear warns us that nothing lives here.
You all kind of look ominously at the cave. Surrounded, there's still these like vines of jade stone that kind of fall down and hang around it like hair around the mouth opening. You see, bushes of orange and blue flowers. Again, that faint kiss of cinnamon in the air seems strongest coming as the wind kind of blows out, telling you that there must be crags of something in there for wind to be moving. It seems strange. You hear that, again, far-off sound of grinding stone. A strange maelstrom of chaotic energy from within. But you guys stand at the kind of mouth of this. You look back, you see Boxxo like, "Good luck, y'all," and he just kind of holds his hand up, and you see a cane just reach down from a tree, and he grabs it, whoop, and they just pull him up into the tree.
Oh. Man knows how to make an exit. Look at that guy go. Those turning stones, I'm curious about that. I kind of want to at least let everybody know, like, I'll sneak in first. I just kind of want to get a lay of the land, and I can report back to Thorkis. I'm a little sneaky guy, so if there's anything in there, I will hopefully not be seen. And if I do, I'll just...
Oh, that's funny. I'm not going to go in there first and report back, so yeah, that's all you.
Yeah, if you're volunteering, Rial, sure.
Do for it.
Even though Papa has 92 hit points.
Ooh,
Wow.
that ran with all your HP.
Man, that's a lot of hit points.
If I run
like
into
when I have
bad
monsters
guys,
with that
I'll
many
just
hit
act
points.
like I'm there for the meeting. Oh, hey guys.
I bet you're wondering why I called you here.
All right. So you guys kind of stand at the mouth of this strange cave. You know, you feel the cold kiss. Again, the breeze on your face just gives you this strange, eerie remembrance of as, you know, you stood on the barren waste field before the workshop as the armies of Queen Mab came. You remember that strange gust of magic that kind of washed over the valley before they arrived. And as you kind of stand in this mouth of this cave, you just feel, again, that like biting cold sharpness. You know, like the air isn't actually cold, but the smell of this cinnamon, it brings with it this cold rush and chill down your spine. You know, you kind of look back at the normal crossroads, and you just look down at the kind of eerie darkness of this cave within. But like true heroes, again, rather than go around to the north to Nombuldir and up the face of the mountains as you had originally planned, you now go right through the middle of them. So Rial, you go ahead and give me a stealth check. As you go through this, we'll kind of get to the way that this mechanic works. But this is okay. So yeah, with yeah, super stealth.
Okay.
Now, Rial, this is actually kind of an interesting
right?
issue
Yeah, man.
that you guys haven't really had to deal with in this cave. It is dark. As you walk, you find yourself walking down this cave. It looks like most natural caves. You don't see the bursts of color and the mushrooms and sprouting crags of color like you did along the face of the cave. And it feels at first like you're walking into a pretty naturally made cave formation. The walls kind of a faded brown color. The mud under your feet feels normal. You feel as that kind of breeze that pushes against you gets stronger and stronger, that starts to change as the walls start to bleed into that green malachite color that the mountains are known for. You know, historically, mostly at their mountain tops, where the peaks are made of pure malachite, a very bright green stone. But you're seeing as you kind of venture down to this cave, eventually you turn back, and it's finally so far that the sunlight itself, is gone. You're walking through a cave. Now I believe since you're an elf, you have dark vision. But just so you know how that works, dark vision makes it dim light when you're in this cave. Okay, so you can't see color, and you have disadvantage on perception checks while in dim light. So if you're trying to search for something, you'll either need a light source of some kind, or just kind of deal with that perceptive disadvantage. I just wanted you guys, we haven't had to deal with a lot of darkness yet. And before we get to it, Divot, do remember your Vest of Eyes has sensitivity against the spell light.
Right.
Uh-oh.
But can I see in the dark with the vest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Vest of Eyes.
Oh, I have a question. So could you, if you needed to shield your coat, could you wear it inside out like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh, for sure. And it just be looking at me.
Yeah.
I gotta say, by choosing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as your selling point, easiest way to get me to sign off on anything ever. Yes, it's got the red on the inside. Yes.
I didn't know how the thing works. Like, I don't know how the cloak works.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Brandon. I don't think that's how that works. But who doesn't want that to be the way it works, though, right? Oh, but the rules. See, this is where story wins. Yeah, Divot, if you wanted to be like, yo. Now, I will say, you won't have 360-degree vision. You won't have benefit of the sight of the eyes if you do that. But yeah, we'll basically make a sweet off switch for it if you ever want. You can turn the vest inside out. Harder to do with a robe, so it's good you tore the sleeves off.
Right. And to be clear, if I just put something on over it, it'll still work. But it's the mechanism of flipping it inside out switches it off.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the case. So Rial, are you just gonna stay in darkness and kind of creep around?
I mostly wanted to listen in because you mentioned like the shifting stone sound.
Yes, as you move forward in this cave, you know, and you notice that the stone on the wall is starting to fade from that brown to the green color. You know, again, you're an elf. You're far more comfortable in the wild, you know, forests than you are the sullen underground of a mountain, you know. And so it's like not really your arena per se, but you kind of like put your ear to the wall and you hear that grinding, shifting sound, and it's like it sounds like it's coming from multiple directions at once. Like there's almost like a bubbling, like a bubbling to it. But you can kind of, as you go deeper and deeper into this cave, and you start to see small offshoots of strange animal trails that used to live in this cave, and, you know, a dark turn that goes around and then nothing but a puddle of water, you know, as you kind of like make your way through the natural curves and bends, you know, get kind of to the point where you're like pretty far away from the group. And you at this point, you've just kind of noticed that it seems like there's all these little like tiny trails that go off in all directions. You think in the, 5 minutes that you've wandered, you've probably seen like 40 different ways that you could go. Some small, some large, but none giving you, even, again, with your fine perceptive skills, you have a very high perception. None of the tracks or features are able to lead you in any one direction, and you're a little overwhelmed at the fact that it's like it seems like this cave is not just simply a straight line, but rather a labyrinth of cave entrances, animal holes, potential people that have lived in the cave. You see, you hear the grinding of the stone itself, as if, and as you're looking around, you're like, is the mountain, like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, are these all fresh? Were some of these just made? Like, and as you turn around, to consider going back to report to the group, suddenly you hear a really close to you, and you kind of jump away and look up at the wall, and you see as one of the paths just closes with stone. And it's gone.
Damn it.
Well, that ruins my idea.
Hey, best friend.
Fuck.
Hey, sorry, what's up?
I found some paw prints and a puddle.
Oh my god. Shut up. I said sorry, fuck ass.
Siri wants to play with us.
Don't.
Aww.
Siri's is familiar in real life.
Was that for me or was that another line?
That was another. That was my other line.
Okay.
My parents got me 2 lines, so I can talk to my friends.
Yes.
My phone lights up when people call me. So.
So I found a puddle and some paw prints, and this place is a shifting labyrinth.
Okay.
The lead.
Did you say something about good news or like?
What's he saying? What's he saying?
It's like the worst thing ever, from what I hear. It's a bowel movement that blocks itself and loosens up of rocks and pathways, and I'm just kidding. I wasn't paying attention to what he said. So where is it?
Mountain's got bubble guts.
Mountain's got bubble guts. Okay.
Mountain's got bubble guts.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So guys, the mountain has bubble guts. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I just asked that.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Hot snakes.
Do they know what bubble guts means?
I guarantee you, they all know.
Okay. I hope so.
Everybody poops. Don't.
Is the mountain pooping?
Hey, Bam, does Rial poop?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like Survivor. Like, we don't talk about it. Like, everybody's
Everybody
shitting
poops.
all
I
the
just did
time,
by
but
his
we
Those
don't.
legs go somewhere.
Yeah,
He wasn't
like,
like-
you guys are eating a lot of mole legs.
Yeah, they gotta be digesting.
High protein diet, a lot of greens.
Oh god.
Jeez, have a salad, guys.
So we've established that you poop. What's the next move?
Sorry, finding out where I came from, I don't really know what I am anymore. But I guess if I poop, then that's good.
Cool.
I'm gonna cast Create Bonfire as far as I can, like to see if they can at least see the flame at any point.
All right,
Like, leave a
yeah.
mark?
So Rial, you kind of like take a bonfire, float it in front of your hand, and, you know, a little outside the bounds of the spell, but just for cool narrative function, you kind of like float this bonfire. And you kind of let it illuminate one of the paths before you, and you watch it twist off to the right. Then the fire comes back. You see it explore another one, twists off to another turn. And you watch as this like little flame just basically is like, even the fire itself of the magic you're consuming is a little lost. So at this point, to help you guys a little bit here, so what this is going to be is a skill challenge. So it's a little bit of a function. We haven't actually done a true skill challenge in 5e, but it's a great mechanic I love. The idea is you guys will have to navigate your way through a sprawling labyrinth of caves. Now, rather than spending 12 hours going through this sprawling labyrinth of caves, which, don't get me wrong, can be a really kick-ass game of D&D sometimes, but what we're going to do is you're all going to try to use your skills and abilities that you have, and basically, you guys have to accrue 5 successes before you get 3 failures. Okay? If you get 5 successes before you get 3 failures, using your skills and abilities, the ways you'll tell me, you will get through basically with no problem, using, you know, the combined skill checks of each of you guys. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the DC on this is pretty tough. It's a DC 15, okay? And what you're gonna have to do is find skills, and realistically, like, just take a look at your character, like, what skills in this circumstance, and I'm always cool with a little broad thinking on these, but what skills can you do? You're gonna make a DC 15 roll using that skill. If it's really cool, I'll probably give you a little advantage. I like a really good idea. And so, yeah, so basically your guys' race is you need 5 successes before you get 3 failures. If you get 3 failures, obviously the 5 are gonna get to where you're going, but there will be some penalties. You guys will have, there will be some damage incurred, there will be potential fatigue, point of fatigue that you can get, as well as perhaps losing something or, you know, whatever. So this is, just so you guys know, basically what we're about to do is you're going to enter a sprawling labyrinth of caves. You notice some of them are dug out of animal tracks and holes, some of them, but again, goblins are small, so you're not sure which way they might go. You know, you cast a wide net, you stay together smartly because you don't know if a cave is going to shut between you. Maybe if you fail a bunch, that's exactly what happens. You know, so I'm going to let you guys take the narrative paintbrush here, and each of you is going to give me a way. You know, obviously we have to get to either 5 or 3, and using your skills and abilities with a DC 15 check. Let me know how you guys would go about getting through this sprawling labyrinth of shifting caves.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm walking right in. I'm gonna walk in there with the Bry man. I'm gonna ride on Brian.
Okay. Yeah. You know, you notice this cave actually pretty sizable. You know, most, when you think a lot of caves, you're thinking like a small, you know, maybe size for one of you. About 3 of you guys in most places in this cave can stand shoulder to shoulder. 15, 20-foot caves. They're sprawling and massive, which makes some of the bigger holes created by creatures a little terrifying. It's like, what size creature could have made this? But this mountain seems ancient.
Well, that's what I'm curious. I want to kind of get a little bit of a ways in, and I want to see if I can maybe use my animal handling to, like, once we get a little bit in, I want to see if there's any animals in there by doing like an animal call, but like, you know the videos of like the lady in like the sprawling hills of some like Netherlands type, or like Iceland, I think, and then like there's like yaks somewhere. She's just like, hiya, hiya,
and they all come running up.
Yeah, and then so just. I want to like do that and see if there's any animals in, like if I can track any animals or if there is any living things that.
All right, so by the nature of your ability, they do have to be able to breathe underwater for you to do so. So you're kind of banking on like some frogs, maybe a slug or something down there. Oh, yeah. Basically, you're waiting for like a sloppy sound in return, like a kind of sound. Allow me to explain how criticals. Let's wait first. Let's never not celebrate a proper crit hit. Rituals are important, my friend. Rules are rules. Awesome. Holy shit. All right, so in a skill check scenario, 20 is 2 passes, Brennan. So almost like the scene in like 101 Dalmatians, okay? When it's like all the dogs is like, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," and they're all like, yo, Pongo, here. And like, it's the slug and frog version of that. You're like,
Yes.
you're like singing your song, and you hear this like sound back, and you're like, oh, of course, no. So almost in return, you know, some of your avenues before you're getting returns that it's like, nope, they didn't come this way, nope, sorry, or like slug, and you're just assuming the slug is saying what the other ones are saying, because I mean, even though Bruno never saw 101 Dalmatians, we all kind of get it,
Right.
you know, and so it's this. You kind of hear echoing through all these many shifting tunnels, you know, basically like a bunch of like, this way is a waste of your time, you know? And so Brunor, through just destroying it with 2 passes there. Yes, you, Brian, and the aquatic folk. Is Drew trying to high five?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see. I looked at the map. Sometimes the magic is organic. I'm not even looking. Sometimes it's totally just what happened.
But no, yeah, awesome. So yes, you know, everybody kind of follows. You know, you see as Brunor's like, oh, I think I know. You know, like this way, not this way.
I'm like, you know how she like, so Brunor says shield for like a tuning and sword, and so she just goes animals. Animals.
Yeah, well, like, I'm at the mouth of the cave, and I'm hearing these cool sounds come on through the hole, and then I decide to enter. I go in right after her, and then I want to see if I can, like, near the mouth of the cave. I remember that I have this new ability to get in touch with stone itself and bend stone. So I want to grab a little bit of dirt or whatever I can pick up at the mouth of the cave and like start forming a little ball of mud in my hands just to keep it ready. And I want to see if I can use this new ability to break down any barriers that might hit us.
Yeah. So you kind of want to vibe out with your. Now, is there a particular spell in mind that you have, or are you just
Stone
what's
shape.
that? Stone shape.
Stone shape.
All right. So do you want to cast Stone shape? Because if you do, I'll just give you advantage on whatever check you'll have to make. You would have to spend that. Now, if you rather would call upon, you know, now that you know the magic that weaves skin to stone, see if you have a similar relationship with your own skin to the touch of the magical stone of this mountain. That would just be, I would grant you that. I would allow you to use a wisdom check, and you would have to beat a DC 15. So you could get it with advantage if you cast
I
the
like
spell.
that second option. Yeah,
Okay.
I more want to like vibe out with the stone and see if I can connect and perhaps guide us as well.
Yeah, you know, all the boys of the 5, you watch as, you know, Brunor's like clicking and flopping with her mouth in front of her as like Tynna's like scooping up hands of dirt like it's Gladiator or something, like scooping up her hands. You see her touch the wall and she's just kind of vibing, you know. And so yeah, Tynna, let me get a wisdom. Just go ahead and do
DC 15?
Yeah, DC 15. So you just do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Yeah. Roll 20's taking a while.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh.
All right, nice. Dirty 20. Definitely.
Yeah,
So
a
that's
little dirty
a pass.
20 there.
And you guys are crushing this skill challenge. It ain't no thing.
Oh.
So yeah, Tynna, you kind of feel as you move, you know, there's a difference between the shifting stones, the pathways you believe that are changing in front of you. You would imagine that your true course would not be shifting, or, you know, that there's a path through this that's stable and safe. You know, the protective instinct of Tynna, the powers of Shantia kind of emanate out of you. And you, through your relationship with the stone and understanding the way that magic weaves with it, and your immense wisdom, you kind of tap into the stone in this moment, and you feel safer paths for you as you pass through with your success. So way to go so far, guys. 3 passes, no fails.
Woo woo.
Grammys.
No pressure.
I would like to use my connection to death to sense the path that has the least amount of death on it.
Okay, I like that. All right, so that I'll basically, your power is granted to you through your use of charisma. So I would give you kind of in a similar way to Tynna using a familiar magic to kind of call upon, in this instance, you doing the same thing. I'd basically grant you the same. You'd be making a charisma saving throw DC 15.
All right.
Take you to okay.
Take
Well,
you to.
Okay.
Oh, I do poorly.
Okay. So Divot, it is not for a lack of connecting to the path with the least death. The problem is that many of these tunnels reek of death. And it's an ancient death. Like, people have been dying here for a long time.
Ooh. So I decide not to break that news to the gang.
Keep the spirits up. But yeah, Divot, you finally you focus in on a path that you think is best. You're like, yes, maybe perhaps this smell of death is a little different. And you step forward, and as you do, the ground underneath you opens up, and you just drop down. And then you all watch as Divot disappears into the earth, and then you watch the ground close up over top of him. Now, for the ensuing several hours, you guys are going through these caves. You can hear Divot. He's telepathically communicating with you. You think you're about to get to him. You finally find a path where you see him down the alley, and as you climb through these small animal holes, you watch them close in front of you. And so, yes, you guys lose a little bit of time as well, and eventually you rejoin together, as for once, like, one of the pathways doesn't close in front of you. For a moment, you're like, a quick high five just to be like, yes, we made it. And yeah, you guys are free to try. So we now have 3 successes and 1 failure.
all right.
I'm not going.
You got
Well,
it.
sorry,
Yeah,
you got
everybody's got to
to.
go.
Sucks to suck.
And again, I hate to break it to you. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm sorry if I'm putting it in the universe. But as a critical is 2 successes, a 1 is 2 failures.
Oh,
Either way that you are.
So you guys are a 1 away from a fail.
What are the odds, Drew? What are the odds?
I don't know how to tell you. I just know. That's it.
I just know the
Do it.
sound it makes when it kills the man. Woo! These dice.
Souls.
All right. So yeah, either or, Real or Thorcus.
What you thinking, best friend? I'm down to go.
Well, see, the thing is, so we just all met back up, correct?
Correct.
All right, and we don't have any idea which way's the correct way.
Correct. And it's like,
supposedly.
if there was, the moment that you start to feel too confident that you're moving the right direction, there will be a shift of the stone, or some cave will collapse, or it seems like it's got bubble guts. The mountain itself is just kind of bubbling with this green stone and old magic and old death. Something's up. Like, the mountain
It had
itself is
a-
unhappy.
It had like a hot dog, like a middle of the day hot dog somewhere. Like
7-Eleven hot dogs.
Been out
yeah.
for a couple hours.
Street
for summer
meat.
theater hot dogs. So those are awesome.
Then they weren't feeling good, and they went back for like those taquito things that are always on the rollers. And then here we are now.
You can't go for
Not
those.
good.
We've learned.
But what it feels like is that we don't get to move or make choices about what we move until you pass or fail one of these skill checks. So,
Gotcha.
lads,
Okay. So
Gentlemen.
I'm going, because if there's one thing Papa knows about, it's bowel movements and bubble guts.
Mole legs.
you gotta take care of your
Again.
body.
So
I gotta make more
with
salads
that
for you.
unique dwarven shit knowledge, I would like to use my athletics to, I guess, scour the bowels of the intestines of this mountain, knowing how to shit and how much it takes out of Papa, when it's rough. So I would like to use athletics to search this fucking cave up and down, because I know it comes out eventually at some point, and that's just what I want to find. I want to work my way through it. I'll grab a belt and I'll bite down on it if I have to, but I will get through this. You know what I mean? Athletics all the way.
All right, so as a
Squatty potty, we're coming for you.
as an expert in many things, dragon penises, gastro systems,
Gastrointestinal
yes,
nightmares.
it was those two things that you focus most of your studies on during your wartime.
It is.
All right, I'll allow this in this sense because the metaphor holds too much water to not go with it. You see as these blockages of stone, so to speak, are choking this breath, this breeze, this wind, this cool, chilly wind. It's being blocked at points, and you can hear buildups of air behind it. Now, you are a stone reaver grown in the mountains of Coolmara, and you're nothing if not, very familiar with being underground. And so you find these points where, again, like I said, you guys were moving along the path, and you feel like you're on a good, like Brian, you're getting a couple clip-clops back from slugs down the way. Tynna is advising you all that, yes, this cave is indeed safe. And then finally, the stone wall closes in front of you. But Thoricus, not to be stifled and not to be blocked like a deuce that needs dropping, Papa runs up and he attempts to bust through one of these stone blockages, continuing your way through a path that would be previously closed off. I'll give you athletics, DC 15.
Would you say he's revved up?
Double 20.
Yeah, he is. Ooh.
Damn, double 25s
The
too.
Roto-Buddha is in town.
With a strange ability, you see as Thoricus almost swims through the stone. Like his strength is so immense that he's forcing his hand into crags of rock and then just peeling them back as he just almost melds through stone. It's pretty impressive. But again, just like being born of the earth in the way that he was, you see him just like swimming through this passage, and then he just fleshes off and a bunch of stone breaks, all badass. And you guys get one more success. So here we go, guys. You've got 4 passes. You have 1 fail. Any pass will be a success.
Who did that?
You guys will have gotten your way through the shifting stone labyrinth of the Malachite Mountains. Or 1 fail, you're fine. Somebody else will get another chance to check. And 1, and you all fail. And that is where we're going to pick it up after intermission, guys.
Fine,
Oh, man. Ooh, I can't wait. I'm not going to say I want it to be a 1, because I don't, but I do, and I hope it is. Because how funny would that be? You guys are just killing it, and then it's like, damn it. All right, guys. We got us a little intermission we got here. Let me tell you, there's some incredible art, some amazing new submissions in here, some of the new music that Sandy has done. The best thing about intermission to me is we get to play Sandy's music at the right volume, and you guys get to listen to like legit how brilliant this man is. For those that don't know, Sandy and I have worked, every play I've ever directed, Sandy's done the music for. He is one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And immensely talented. We love him so much. And we love all you guys that send in submissions. Man, if you want your stuff showcased at intermission, shoot it our way. I mean, anything counts. It just makes us feel amazing. And then big ups to some of just these brilliant world-class artists that are submitting stuff all the time. Guys like Vlad, Giuseppe, or Sean, or Tip Top, or whatever his name is going to be next week. It's one of the best things about this whole project is just how much art is created for it and by it and in its honor. So please enjoy that art. We will be back in 10 minutes to resolve the conclusion of the Fey Cave within the Malachite Mountains. Woo! Welcome back, buds, to WeeD&D, pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. Holy crap! When last we left the Five, they were navigating their way through a series of this endless labyrinth of green shifting stone tunnels. In the skill check, they need 5 successes. They've garnered 4, but 3 failures will lead to some pretty dark stuff. So they only have 1 failure right now. They need 1 pass before they accrue 2 more failures. We're going to jump right back in, but there is one thing I wanted to showcase. I said I was going to show you guys the new freaking amazing Boxxo art, and then apparently I didn't bring it up. So check your stuff here. Take a look at this amazing, again, Giuseppe just killing it. That is our lovely, I mean, I'm frankly just in love with him. Our little man Boxxo, with all of his rings, accoutrement. He's just fantastic, and I love him. And his voice actually doesn't hurt my throat. I thought it would. I was a little worried, and let's just get it out there in the open. It didn't. So here we go, guys. We are gonna jump back in. You have just managed, after clearing the blockages of the bubble guts of the Malachite Mountains, Thoricus has peeled his way through a thick blockage of heavy stone. He reeks of the earth that covers him in this moment. And yeah, so you guys have now navigated your way. You feel, like you've made some pretty good progress into this. You feel like you've moved mostly toward the innards of this mountain, but a couple bad steps along the way, a disappearing divot into the ground, cost you some hours as you progressed. So here we go. Rial Othervon, it is on you, my friend. How are you going to attempt to solve this little labyrinthian challenge before you?
Yo, can I whisper an encouraging, inspirational word to my man before he does this?
You absolutely can, Divot. You can use your bardic inspiration and hit him with one.
All right. So in my head I whisper I'm like, you know the way.
Yeah. That gave me a little chills. Whew. Made my liver quiver.
Also, don't
That's
fuck
amazing. I feel that to my core, and I know what I want to do, but because we're all together at this point, before I depart, I do want to ask Divot, do you have a cigar to spare? Don't mind kindly, he's acting up.
Oh, why, yes I do.
Might I borrow it? Ooh. So, 7 years in prison, there was no music. I lived 7 years of my life without a beat of music. And if you can imagine that, what kind of hell that is. And then I met the Five. I mean, we became the Five. I met everyone else, and Divot has brought, such a music in my life, where my acrobatics have a bit more of just kind of an internal rhythm to them. And I kind of want to synchronize that with the shifting of the rocks and kind of bot my way through to find a path that works. But with the cigar, I want to leave a trail of smoke and flick off some ash while I'm at it. So if I do find one that works, we've at least got something tangible.
I like it, Rial. And not only does your dance concept just strike true with me, I also like the notion of that little bit of the wispy song that echoes through the cave, kind of allowing yourself to return to that state of isolation, as you were imprisoned for 7 years beneath Urgon's laboratory in the Cloister of Trees. So yeah, kind of you're able to shut the world out. You hear the shifting stones and earth collapsing around you, and you just kind of get into this little Zen meditative state, almost like when you sleep. Your 4-hour little stasis, and so you kind of zone out, and suddenly you hear this shifting rock fade away. You hear nothing for a moment, but the small melody that you taught yourself as you sat imprisoned for 7 years, and you allow it to kind of pick up on the wind of this cool breeze of the song of Queen Mab that kind of permeates through every echoing chamber of this mountain. And yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, bro. With a acrobatics check, DC 15.
Let's see. Of all things to fail, acrobatics is the funniest.
The one you're the best at.
Goddamn.
I'm gonna be honest. I normally wouldn't allow some of these, like an athletics from a strong character, a dexterity check, but I gotta say, man, I love a good narrative reason for anything. So
26 or a 27. Any of those good?
yeah, I think both of them are pretty good. 26 is one of my favorite numbers, anyway. So yes, Riao, you again zoning out the world behind you, leaving a trail of cigar smoke in your wake. You kind of pick up on that sweet kiss of cinnamon that's now starting to concentrate itself. And you can kind of feel as you're vibing your way through, you know, allowing the shifting stone of the earth to kind of vibrate at your feet, allowing you to lift a foot and kind of just like zone your way down this dark tunnel. You actually managed to, with achieving your 5th success. You guys passed the skill challenge.
I think that deserved the smoke.
Dude, heck yeah, it does.
High five, everybody. Felt right.
The high five. All right, that's next campaign for sure. The high five. All right. I got an itchy finger. All right, guys.
Already
You
so high.
following Rial's trail of cigar smoke and ash, you know, almost as if Divot was already down the way. When you're like, oh wait, no, this is Rial doing this. You follow this little trail of ash, and the smell of smoke leads you. And finally, you know, all these little, small pathways on the side and everything, they all kind of hewn down to one central cave. You see the shifting stones, the kind of liquid molten outside of this mountain as you've moved in within it. You're kind of past that strange shifting magic. The rocks still seem to be moving, but almost slithering in the walls. You know, you look at them and they range anywhere from a sharp malachite, sharp green to like a deep jade, embery color. But it almost, you know, if you let yourself lose focus on them for a moment, it's almost like a slithering of scales, the way that the walls now move around you. But you walk and you see this large 15-foot clearing in front of you. I'm going to bring you over there now.
Guys, we found the butthole.
So as you walk into this pathway, you notice that there's these small, sprouting, like wet plants that are growing from the cracks in the ground. You've seen these plants before, and the last time you saw them was in the Feywild. They seem to be the bushel of every tree and area. Like it's just this super common like brush of the Feywild. But you're noticing small accumulations of them gathering at your feet. The ground, the mud at the ground is wet, and so you smell the smell of wet earth mixing with that cinnamon as you kind of like feel this cold dampness permeate as the stones around you kind of writhe. You see shifting stones have allowed these cracks that have broken through natural light, and there's these jetting arcs of white light that land and illuminate the glowing green stone. You know, beautiful if not so menacing. But you finally find yourself in a cave, you know, like I said, a central tunnel. The offshoots and everything all seem to come down to this one way, the smell of cinnamon strongest. You feel that song a little louder than before, you know, no longer needing the aid of the listening device of Boxxo. You currently stand, you know, just to make sure everybody can see here, right? You guys are right here at this cave entrance. Yeah, and you see an arcing cave bend away, you know, and around that corner it kind of fades into darkness. But these small little beams of light create a visible light within this area. So, Divot, if you wanted to re-engage your cloak of eyes, you could safely do so.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
You unfresh Prince. You Carlton. You put it on as it was intended. No, the sleeves are still off, so it's still got that Divot charm. And yeah, so you guys, in this case, basically, I didn't. You guys can choose whatever formation you would like to progress from here. Now we're getting into a little bit more of kind of a traditional dungeon delve scenario. But yeah, you see, you know, the moss on the ground around your feet. This is a very damp area. You know, these caves probably carved by moving water. But at every crag and every corner, you see these little strange growing plants that you've only ever seen on the Feywild.
Hey, Brian, do you happen to smell any of those goblins?
You see his eyebrows, you know, his little scaly eyebrows kind of like perk up, and he kind of like starts slowly walking toward this little corner. And you see he kind of like looks over and he nods at you, and he kind of like gestures around this bend.
Rial, do you want to go check it out? Do a little sneaky snap over that way?
Yeah, just around the murder bend.
Just around the murder bend.
We'll absolutely do a sneaky.
All right, give me a
Thanks,
sneaky
buddy.
sneak, you sneaky snake.
Sneaky.
You gotta go one more though, huh? See
Alright,
around
this
the
cat
corner.
is going.
He's so good at stealth. It's like, it's hilarious if he doesn't do extremely well.
He's just like, hey.
Well, no, I'm like one more square diagonally to
Yeah.
see around.
Oh,
Sorry.
to see around the corner. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, you kind of like, you know,
That's what I meant.
you know, you kind of like test yourself. You put your feet against these strange, you know, kind of undulating green plants that crack from the ground. You know, you kind of see if they're like hostile to you in any way. They don't like attach to your leg or anything as you go. And so, yeah, you kind of allow yourself to press into them and use them as cover as you kind of peek around the corner. You look and right down this bend here. I promised I was going to remember to reveal areas as you guys see them.
Hell yeah.
You look down, and I'm going to explain it first and then show you, because I'd like us all to be there in our minds together. But Rial, you peek around this bend, and about 30 feet away from you, you see this shimmering purple and pink pool. Now, the last time you saw water like this was when you were around the tree clearing, the way that the river ran. You see little wisps of silvery magic, just the same as when the Mad Tea Party kind of took over your brains. In this pretty massive, like 25-foot, wide diameter pond of this purple and pink liquid, you see these massive 7-foot mushrooms growing out, and you look and they have those same veiny tendrils as the blood-sucking mushrooms, the little tiny ones that you guys encountered on the Feywild plain before the workshop. You're looking and you suddenly see the purple water rippling, and then you see as this figure comes raising from underneath, and you watch this withered body of a goblin raise out of the water in front of you, and he's just kind of like hanging as all these red blood-sucking tendrils are just pumping the life force from him. You see his skin kind of sagging, his eyes rolling around. It's a little tough from how far away you are. You can't tell if he's dead or alive, but it seems this pond is feeding on him. Make me a perception check.
I was gonna say, does it matter if he's dead or alive? Does anyone want to go swimming?
1 second. Roll 20 is being kind of slow.
Now I'll do it. Now you
There you
do
go.
see.
14.
All right, so this is what you see, Rial. The kind of I'm gonna cover the little wire area here just so. You can all see that, yeah.
I
It's reversed. I just
Wait,
covered it.
Everything got even darker.
Yeah,
Hold on.
it's like,
Hold on, I'm on this.
Boom.
Boom. All right. So Rial, you see, the some of the rooting tendrils that hold this goblin up seemingly come from underneath him. It's not these mushrooms themselves that are holding him up on display in this moment. That's what you notice with your 14 perception.
All
But
right.
yes,
Well,
this goblin just as the blood is being sucked by these it's seemingly from the pool itself and these strange tendrils that are like latched into his body.
yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to just think about how to say this in 6 seconds to phone back. Well, I can holler it at Thor.
Yeah, you guys are still technically out of initiative.
Okay,
This
that's
is still like you haven't like dropped in or anything. The goblin's not looking at you. The mushrooms don't have eyes, so you don't think that they perceived you with your high stealth. But that's what. So the encounter hasn't began or anything like that.
Yeah, I want to address the group. Like, there's a body of water. It's that bright pink, like the tea party. You all remember the tea party, how the water seems technicolor and...
Yeah.
You can see that? That's...
what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Magical pink water. We're dealing with some Feywild here. And, Divot, that mushroom you got there? The little guy? There's a big guy. And whatever's in this magical Fey pond, it's sucking the life out of a goblin. Not sure if it's Jingle, Bingle, Bangle, maybe Fuck. But he's certainly in dire straits.
Oh
If it's
sounds
a mushroom, I'm going to have to investigate.
So I was not clear enough. Just so you know, there are several of these 7-foot tall mushrooms. You see them spinning with purple and blue tips, almost like a soft serve ice cream cone. They spin and spiral toward the top. They have these puffs of like pink and green energy, like spores that cough off of them. And you see, there's about 4 or 5 of the 7-foot tall ones growing in the corners and the crags of this pond. And then as well, you see little smaller ones kind of at their feet, as if they're, like, as mushrooms are wont to do, they're sporing and replicating. So yeah, there's quite a few of these strange mushrooms in this pond. But again, Rial, you did notice that it doesn't, like, these mushrooms specifically don't seem to be the thing that is holding him up. Like, you see it's coming from under the water.
Okay, my bad. In correction, I at least relay that to the group. Some strange tentacles coming out of this Fey water. Water. What would we like to do?
Well, something, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go with something. Yeah.
Do we assume that this goblin is one of the 5 goblins we're looking for?
Based on Brian's ping, you would think so. He seemed to say that, like, one of those goblins is, right over there. Was kind of what he was saying to Brunor. So yeah, you would say more than likely this is one of the 5.
All right, so I'm gonna walk closer.
Yeah, you had me at 7-foot mushrooms. Like,
Yeah, I want to just start heading that way. Let's do something about it.
All right, everybody has control of your pieces here in this case. I'll let you know when we shift to, like, the more specific functions of battle.
I'm also going to queue up Brian that in case, like, the spores start to... If we start to feel weird about these spores, Brian, if you could use your wings to, like, gently gust the spores away from us so that we are untouched by this sporitude, if you know what I'm saying.
No.
Filthy spores. All right, yeah. So if this is your guys' walking order, again, the strange shifting stone of this mountain has made way for these long pillars of light that seemingly beam through from outside the tips of these mountains. Some of them reflected through little pieces of crystal that reflect brilliant green light, but they wash down on this shimmering purple and pink pond that seemingly just kind of like is just kind of spongy in look. It's seemingly shifting and moving a little bit. You see these bright red tendrils just holding this goblin up as he just kind of like hangs, now floating, suspended out of the water about 3 feet. You see his withered body just having trouble breathing. As you approach, you see him kind of like turn and look at you. And you see these red sprouts burst out of his eyes. And none of you, cleverly, got within 10 feet of him, and you see these red sprouts reach out, but the tendrils can't get far enough. But you see about 10 feet of these red, grasping, suction-y veins kind of shoot out of his eyes. And he just kind of hangs there as a skin bag as these parasitic veins grow at you. Unfortunately, they cannot reach you with where you guys are right now.
Wow.
That sounds really fortunate.
Yeah.
But I do like to think that we are all just standing there and they're like right in front of us and we're just like, whoa, that's...
Yikes.
This guy's eye holes.
Right? That guy's not going to be in Rush Hour 3.
Tell me about it. This is very,
It's just been rough.
I wonder which one he was? Is there any sort of indicator, like...
They're not wearing name tags, unfortunately. Like, you would hope that maybe let Boxxo know about name tags. Like, that might help. But yes, you see him, you know what, Brunor, give me a perception check.
All right, hell yeah.
I like this.
All right, do that.
It just sounds
Hold on,
fun to
here
do,
comes.
so I'm doing it.
Watch out, here it comes. It's gonna happen.
Oh.
Yeah, baby, 7.
All right, so at first you see as his skin bag flops around, you think you hear him jingle, and then you think you hear him jangle. And then you hear what might be classified as a bingle, and then perhaps a bangle. And then the last word that escapes out of his mouth is fuck. And you just see the tendrils reaching, they're trying, you see his little body like scooting forward a little bit. Like a centimeter at a time, trying to get even just closer. You guys you don't have to move, you're just kind of like, just to back up. It's like, Jesus. They cannot quite get to you with their reach. But yes, you see one of these goblins, unfortunately, seems to have fallen and been devoured by this parasitic creature.
Okay, yeah, I guess I rolled low for perception. I was gonna ask if I recognize this as any sort of sea creature type thing, but
yeah, not a specifically a sea creature, no.
All right, sucks to suck.
Sucks to be fuck.
Sucks to fuck, right, guys?
Now, Thoricus, since you did round that corner, you would be aware of the following. I promised myself I would do better about that.
Yeah.
So you kind of, as you peek around this corner here, you see it's almost as if this pond has just allowed some of this pink and purple runoff to kind of spill around the corners. It feels like the cave is going downward. So it's this small stream of this magical pink and purple river with these little wisps of silver. You see as they go down, more of these like lecherous mushrooms are growing from the ground all along wherever the purple and the pink water seems to be. You see more of those strange little plants, the strange Feywild brush intermingling with these pink and green phosphorescent mushrooms that just kind of like seemingly suck the life from the area around them.
So there's we're not affected by like the air quality or anything like that around here. Like
no, the idea with Brian, with the wings and the spores.
But
yeah, with Brian like blowing the spores away, you guys, you don't have to deal with like air quality or anything.
Okay, but if he wasn't doing that, we would.
You might, like you did notice, there's a lot of spores.
Thank you for the non-answer. Jesus.
If you want him to stop, you can find out. Do you want him to stop?
You can certainly try.
No, I don't want him to stop.
You do notice the spores more dense around the pond area, Thoricus. It's not like as you go deeper, the spores aren't thicker. In fact, where this pond is concentrated, the spores are thickest because even the small ones are puffing out these little green and pink specks of spores.
Gotcha. All right. Wait, is it my turn or?
It's just a turn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
this is kind of what you got. You see this little skin goblin bag hanging. It seems the life after he exerted the word fuck, giving you no answer. As each of the 5 names was represented, this goblin, the life has seemingly been drawn out of him, and now these mushrooms or whatever is underneath this water is now reaching out, trying to get some more of that good life energy.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of I make eyes at Thoricus and I kind of shimmy along the edge of the wall a bit more, and I hey, is it safe for us to maybe bypass this guy and move ahead?
I mean, y'all saw the things come out of his eyes, and he's gone, but I don't want to. No one wants to go swimming in there, right?
No.
Yeah, but like we're supposed to bring back all 5 of them to gain the favor from Boxxo.
Yeah.
And they need alive. We just need to have some sort of proof of all of the 5 of them to bring back to him, and we would still gain the favor. I'm pretty high, but
yeah,
I can still remember that shit.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and to be fair,
you're right.
Boxxo didn't specifically say dead or alive. He said, right? So.
Are you gonna be solutions based about this, or like
You're gonna go wiggity whack.
While they're talking, I'm like looking at this goblin and I'm sketching like a little drawing of him, like of exactly what I see. And I'm not renowned for my artistry, but I'm not the worst.
I've seen worse. So yeah, as you you see again, like as you kind of there, a creature hungry for its meal, you see finally the subterranean mass of these like undulating red veins. It's like a cluster of these. There's a central circle of these writhing, connected fibers and tissues. You see some finally emerging, coming out of the pond itself. So yeah, it's kind of the creature that is responsible for the death of this goblin. It is going to try to start moving toward you guys. So whatever you'd like to do.
Okay, so it's already trying to reach for us to suck the life out of us, correct?
Correct.
But it has a 10-foot range.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. Until it moves, it can't. But you can see, like I said, it's kind of starting to like just move slowly in your direction. It's not known for its tremendous speed.
Okay. Is there any way that I could take the girls out for a spin and Betty Spaghetti that motherfucker up? Just keep spinning it, and then like run back through the group, and as I'm running back, dragging this thing behind me, all spaghetti up on the fork, they all get attacks of opportunity. Is that a thing that can happen?
Huh.
All right, Betty Piscetti. There would be. All right, so I would give you again this thing like not tremendously strong, not tremendously fast, reaching out at you at 10 feet. Let's just. We would get. Okay, so the only one that wouldn't get an attack of opportunity would be Tynna, because she's far enough in the back that you wouldn't have the movement to do it. I love the Betty Spaghetti concept.
Don't I have battle alacrity though?
You do, yeah. Oh, that's right, yeah. So you get, even Tynna will get one. You'll be able to drag him a total of what's 25, your entire 55, 10, 50, 20. Yeah, you can basically get him like all the way back, about 10 feet behind Tynna. You see some of its tendrils still connected to the goblin as well. So yeah, this would be this is a weird kind of like push, basically, like a shove. You're like spinning your axes and trying to like tangle up all these tentacles. I love it visually. So go ahead and give me. This is going to be a competing strength check, but your strength is much higher.
Hell yeah.
He actually only gets a +0 to this. So you got a 16, not bad. All right, so. You're not going to be faulted a loss of your action, but unfortunately, like you see as you like start spinning your axe, it starts just ripping the tendrils out of the ball. Like rather than sticking and having control of the mass, it just rips them out, and you see other ones like start sprouting in their place. And so it's like you're not able to like grab all the fibers and pull it with you. You just kind of cut through them. But in cutting through them, you'll still get your opportunity to use your attack and your movement as you would have wanted.
Okay.
We're kind of popcorning this initiative, just so you know.
Right. I was like, is it?
Yeah, we're back to popcorn for small stuff. For smaller encounters, we're popcorn.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So that, but now I'm close to it, right? Sorry.
So basically, like if you think like there's 10-foot tendrils here, like you could kind of just like attack those and work your way into him. He would get an attack of opportunity if you moved through. He has a 10-foot reach, so that's he kind of is like a reachy boy. Right. So if you move through 2 of his threatened spaces, he'll get an attack of opportunity on you. Sometimes drawing out their AOs is a strategy you've used in the past, so it's like that's not necessarily a bad idea. But yeah, you can choose to do it that way. You will. I can basically allow you to attack him from just moving into this space and attacking the tendrils that reach at you.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
there'd be no AOO.
I'll just do that then.
And then like nothing, each of these cleaves, nothing wrong with pulling some extra tendrils out of you. As the damage is represented as like this ball getting smaller and smaller as you pull the mass of the material that it's made out of it. But yeah, go ahead. It's got, I'll let you know, it's got a 13 AC.
Okay.
Ooh.
You got a miss, you got a hit, and a hit. Sweet.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, if advantage was on the game, that would have been a crit and a crit. Shit.
So great.
All right, so...
If I get a 19 and a 26?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I looked at the 12. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the strength saving throw. The
Right.
boy's high.
I was like,
So, yeah, no, 19 and 26 both hit. The AC is 13. So how much damage did you do?
11 from Lucille and 17 from the Blightbringer.
All right. So, and then, boom. You see, you cleave about. You're looking at the mass of this object as you rip these tentacles out. You've got him roughly about a third of his mass remaining as the whirling blades of both Lucille and the Blightbringer spin around. You still have your bonus action as well if you wanted to do your feat.
Go. 12 on that, though.
You're kind of getting tangled. There's so many now. It's like when you spin up too much Pescetti and you can't really take the bite.
You're like,
I gotta get a knife involved. So yeah, you're a little, you're all skettied out. And so as you kind of like go to throw, like literally the mass of just the weight of these tendrils on your axe is so heavy, the Lucille kind of lands on the ground. But you did some pretty nice damage there. And yeah, so that would be, you got anything else you want to do?
Learn from my mistakes.
All right, so the way popcorn, I've been trying to work on the balance of popcorn a little bit. The way popcorn is going to work, the instigator, whoever narratively starts the battle, gets their move. The enemy team will then immediately get a chance to go. That way it's not like, hey, all 6 of us or all 5 of us use our supernova abilities and the guy never gets to go. So for smaller encounters, we are back to popcorn. But in this case, the assassin vine will get to go. And I told you what it is. It's an assassin vine. It's a little weird version of it that I concocted, but it's a Fey-Tained assassin vine. It does get 2 attacks. It's going to use both of them on Thori.
Yes.
Yeah, plus 7 to hit. He tries to. Oh wait, we'll hold up here. I think if he hits you, yeah. So the first one count. Let's see what it does. 10 plus that's 17 AC.
Well, I mean, I do have a 16, so yeah.
All right, so
sounds like. I mean, unless narratively, I could have said that I was using my evasive maneuvers.
Not in this case. It's all right. You take 10.
I mean, I would still have to use one of my die to.
Oh no, that's true. Yeah, if you burn the resource, yes. If you use the resource, it was your turn. It doesn't require a bonus action or anything to use.
Right.
We're still in the popcorn. You see this thing coming at you. I like it, but you do have to burn the resource. Use your use one of your.
That sucks. But
and that adds to your AC in the moment, doesn't it?
Correct. I roll on. I think it's. Hold on. It's a D. Oh yeah, it's a D4 because it's superiority die. I'm an idiot.
Okay, sweet.
Sorry.
Is it a D4? I thought it was a D6. Dang it. No.
Oh shit! No, this says maneuver dice is a D8.
There you go. Yeah, I was like, it tiered with you. Yeah. So yeah, you roll a D8 and you get to add that to your AC in this moment.
Holy balls! I mean, even if I roll a 1, that's still enough. Right?
That's correct. No, because if he matches your AC, it's a hit. So just don't roll a 1.
Well,
there you go. Nice.
I got 4.
So yeah, you're. Which one is it? You're using your evasive maneuvers.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you boost. You kind of like see him coming at you after you're kind of drawing his attack toward you as you had planned. His first swing unsuccessful as you kind of jump to the side real quick, shifting like the earth around you. He then throws another vine at you. 24 AC.
God damn it. You're gonna get me every time.
He gets plus 7. He rolled pretty high. 2d8 plus 5.
I mean, I got my fucking AC up to a 20, and of course.
I just
Gonna get me.
just over top. You take 14 bludgeoning damage, and you see as the tendrils, Thoricus, they wrap around you, and you're grappled. So you're grappled and restrained. You can use your action to use an escape artist check, DC 15. And while you're grappled, it can do some other stuff to you. So, but it did have to use both of its attacks to do that, so it can't do it right now. But yeah, remember, you're grappled and restrained. It is done. It's going to give, I mean, again, you guys get to play with a little bit of meta knowledge in your structuring of who gets to go. It's going to let Tynna in the back go.
Oh my goodness. Well, are the danglies that Thoricus dragged back here, are they an active threat to me still?
No.
Okay.
No, the only threat
No,
range
because I
is still
didn't
10
actually-
feet from this
yeah.
creature. So these squares where Thoricus is, you can move into those spaces. You just can't
Yeah.
move through them. So if you wanted to move up to like there or there, it couldn't reach you. But if you
Yeah,
move-
for sure. I see us jumping into action, and whatever hesitation I had falls aside, and I run up, and I'm gonna place myself in front of Brian, but kind of behind Brunor still, to keep an eye on the situation, so I have a good range and eyes on everybody. I just don't want to die again.
Hey, yeah, no, that's you see, a little more familiar with like the flavor of death. You wisely, stand behind the most armored, protective person that you know in Brunor the Serpent. But yeah, what you got?
But yeah, in this moment, I want to provide a little bit of even more protection for the group. I'm just looking at what Bless does real quick. I'm sorry to make sure that it's good.
I think it's
okay.
3.
Yeah. So this is a concentration spell. Okay. So I have quickly. I reach into my bag and I remember that I have holy water in there, and I want to, do the kind of like the same magical flare that I was doing earlier, but with the water, and concentrate all of Shantia's light and the goodness and the thing I'm getting from being in this cave right now. I feel so connected
Fire,
to
water, earth.
nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel the surge of magic as you cast Bless. Bless, fantastic spell.
Oh, hell yeah.
How many pick? I think is it 3?
I'm double checking. Yeah, up to 3 creatures. So yeah, so I bless it, and then I'm gonna sprinkle it on like our fighters, the people I know who need to be our tanks, because I see Thoricus take all this damage all the time. I still feel guilty about damage that I've given to him. So I, if I can, I sprinkle the water towards Brunor, Thoricus, and then Rial, since he's in front of me as well.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Dope. So yeah, you guys get the benefit of Bless. Whenever you make an attack or a saving throw, you get to add a D4 to the results. So it's
yeah.
nice mixed in. For if anybody has Divis Inspiration still as well, those do stack. So yeah, you guys feel that benevolent light, the bounty of Shantia, that emanates from Tynna's Smoothhands. Kind of bounces off the walls and back on you, and you receive Bless from her. Yeah.
Cool. And then I still have a bonus action as well, right?
Right, but you won't be able to cast a bonus action spell.
Could I ready a bonus
Actually,
action?
no, because readying an action is an action. That's, again, I know this is such a weird, this is one of the tickier,
thank you.
tackier parts of the spells. But if you cast not a cantrip, or basically, because you casted something that wasn't a cantrip, you cannot also cast a bonus action spell in the same turn.
Well, then I'm just going to ready myself, steal myself here.
Dope.
And that'll be it.
Yeah, no, so, dope. Bless is seriously super helpful in so many, it's one of my favorite spells. So yeah, you guys are feeling pretty good. Tynna, who do you want to pass the initiative to?
Well, I think I'm going to pass it right to Brunor. Like, I'll make eyes with her. I know she's strong and she's going to join in the fight eagerly, so I'm going to pass it to her.
I throw a hand axe at the thing.
Yes.
Chuck it. 25 AC, that's a
Enjoy
hit.
the
Nice
classics.
10 damage. Very nice. You see it just sticks into the mass of these strange vines and veins and just this pulsing pink and red mass of just tendrils. You slap for 10 damage. Very nice. It is still alive.
Cool, I'm gonna do it again.
Cha! Don't worry.
Wait.
I'll start grabbing
There
other
it goes.
people's. Yeah. Success. Yeah, both your axes land true, Brunor. You see there's not like a reaction to pain. You don't see it like "Wah!" or anything. It just continues to just.
I'm also gonna. Damn it! No, I'm not close enough to it. I was gonna mark it, but I don't want to get closer because I don't want it to touch me.
I get it.
Understand that.
I super get that.
Yeah.
So skeeved. I took my own earpiece out. Okay. This thing gives me the skeeby-jeebies.
Divot's like, this thing ate my bone juice.
Yeah. So, ow. So yeah, that's gonna be. Because this is our first thing that we're encountering. We still have 5 things left, so I can't action surge yet. So I can't do it. But I will pass it to Real because I'm like, I don't want to touch this thing. I'm gonna pass it to the person that can get to it also from afar.
Yeah. For full clarification, Real and I discussed between sessions that he wanted to buy a long bow instead of a short bow. So if you're like, why is his damage different and stuff, Real has a long bow that he purchased. His birch bow is a long bow. He paid the extra gold for it as well.
Birch Reynolds.
Yeah.
Oh, I had son of a birch, but
There it is.
he's son of a birch, but his full name is Birch Reynolds.
Daughter of Ash,
Son of a bash, son of a birch.
Yeah,
I love
you
it.
get me. Don't get me.
I love it.
That's why we hang out. I love you guys.
All right, yeah, Real, you see, Bruno just hurls a couple hand axes at this wad of, it's like Big League Chew if it came to life.
Oh god.
It's like that.
Suck.
Oh no.
Oh, that went in my nose.
I think about that more than I probably should.
It's like if Big League Chew came to life, but it was blood. Have fun.
Yes! See, you get me, bro. You get me.
Blood noodles.
Oh, gross. And they came out of his eyes. Ugh. All right. So yeah, Real, you're up.
So, I heard best friend out. We bring back at least a piece of this guy. We made a deal with our dear friend Boxxo. Yeah, what should I do?
Kindly's
Riley.
helping out.
Oh, now he says nothing.
Sassy.
Yeah, whenever you need him to say something.
Backseat driver.
But because I was still stealth. I know he was kind of like grabbing out, but was I seen by it at all, or?
Yeah, because there's not really
Yeah.
something to hide behind at this point. It's like even
Word.
the bushes around you are not really big enough. So you would be visible at this point.
Okay, that's fine. I want to
But yeah, nobody's within 5 feet either, so you don't get that sweet stealth attack.
Oh,
Sneak
that's
attack.
true. All right. No, it's all good. Mostly I just wanted to whip up with Scimitar the rapier and like make an attack on it, but I primarily want to like slice the tendrils that are holding this poor fuck, just that fuck in the air.
Okay, yeah,
Trying to
so
sever those.
totally. If you move here, you're in its threat range, but you're not moving through it, so you don't incur the attack of opportunity. So yeah, you can move there and attack the tendrils that are holding this goblin up. I like that. As you move up, you see some of the tendrils start kind of reaching toward you. Again, the ones that are kind of like bursting out of his eyes turn over in your direction and start creeping over toward you. You take Scimitar the rapier out, start cutting around. AC 13.
AC 13.
Nice.
25. So
Heck yeah.
for
9
9
damage.
damage.
Sweet. You managed to just almost like Zorro a couple of these
But it's an R.
tendrils away. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him a strength check to see if the. Oh, we rolled a 1.
Whoa, shit, crit.
Sucks to suck. All right. So yes, you actually see you cut the 2 main stalks that are holding up this goblin, and his body falls. Now you see a couple of the ones still coming out of his eyes. They are alive still, and they're still like reaching towards you, but they are severed from the main ball. And you see his body kind of splashes in the purple and pink water. You feel it kind of tingly on your skin.
Tingly. All right, so there's still some active form of it. I'm going to disengage and just back right the fuck off. We can get the body later, and
Nice.
I can just shoot shit in the meantime.
Yeah, cutting action's nice to be like, bounce. You kind of backhand spring out of the way after cutting the goblin free. You see him just kind of floating in the water. Yeah, who's up next?
Oh shit.
No,
Okay.
he's on first.
Who is on first? Wait, we still have Divot.
I think it's
Divot.
Divot, yeah.
Are you up there? Have at it, my friend.
Yeah, so I know he looks rough, but I'm not 100% convinced that he's dead. I've seen Game of Thrones. So I look right at this ball of stuff, which I'm quite well acquainted with, being that I have a little buddy.
Magnus, just like, little blood man behind you.
Oh, I mean the thing in my ring.
Your other mushroom, yeah. Sorry, you have a lot of really cool little things.
Oh yeah, pardon me. So I just I want to saunter up through the crew to about here, and then I want to Eldritch Blast this guy.
Dope. 13 AC.
Cha-cha. Cha-cha.
Nice.
Good enough.
So the way we do it, just for now that we're actually showing the thing, these first two attacks, unless he has advantage or disadvantage, since it shows the advantage roll, those are both attacks. With 14 AC, 23 AC, those both hit Divot. And you hit for 7 and 2 damage.
Tight.
And yeah, you see, you see some of the blood that this thing has sucked from this goblin, and then perhaps as you see the floating bones of small animals and gophers, and maybe even a mole. You see some of the blood that it's absorbed is now spilling out of these wounds, these many cuts and fragments and torn out tendrils, as the blood is kind of mixing with the pink and the purple water, creating this strange color mix that just kind of permeates around this mass of tendrils.
Whoa.
Ew.
Gross.
I'm okay with this.
All right, so then I just look at him and I'm like, gross, and that'll be the end of my turn.
All right, sweet. So you guys, Gus, you'll get to pick one more, and then the enemy will get to go. So you get to choose who breaks the new round of initiative.
I'm gonna let Thoricus go.
Nice. So Thoricus, you see the goblin kind of floating in the water, this strange mix of pink, purple, and the deep purple red of blood. And you look forward, this strange mass, now maybe a fourth of its original size, still kind of just oozing towards you. What do you do?
Gosh, that's...
Is it? I mean, it's one thing, but does it need 2 tickets?
Yeah, Divot, I tap him on the butt and I'm like, get in there.
Go get him.
God damn it. You just... Alright.
Papa Sketty.
Papa Sketty.
Papa Sketty.
Fuck, it's scary.
Papa Sketty.
Papa Sketty.
That's a good roll.
Is that an Imogene Heap song?
I think so. That's a 14 and an 18.
Both hits.
So that would be 12 on Lucille and 7 on the Blightbringer.
Ooh, Thoricus, what do you do to it?
Well, I see all this delicious looking pink mist and psychedelic mushroom green gas, and I'm like, look at all this blood of my enemies I've got here. There's some water, some pink pond water. Maybe I just start twirling this thing up and start the murderita machine going. Getting salty. Spin that motherfucker around and just add the blood of my enemies. It's delicious.
A pulpy.
More recipes.
A very pulpy margarita indeed. As the spinning, you see that battle alacrity, that strange tornado of energy that kind of bursts out of him in his more Super Saiyan-y moments. But he starts, the axe just spinning, cutting through the water. The mass of this thing that remains is just cut into chum. And you see this floating chunks of red and pink with this nice purple and pink water floating around. You kind of want to put a little umbrella in it and a nice glass by the ocean with maybe a loved one. But yeah, a perfect margarita. Hold the salt unless you like salt, then there's salt too. You savagely destroy what remains of this assassin vine. And you see, the pond still kind of shimmering now, the mushrooms seemingly feeding from the blood of that creature rather than the goblin or your own feet or anything of the like.
All right.
You don't want to eat my feet.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You're gonna regret that. I know you're a plant, but you're gonna regret that.
It was a bad idea, plant. Your move, nature. Checkmate.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, you guys, you have this. There's this dead goblin's body that you can kind of like pull to the edge of the pond. You're kind of looking over him, and as you move his body, you hear the jingle of a bracelet on his wrist.
I knew it was jingle.
And unfortunately, the goblin that lie in the muck of the Feywild waters is your man Jingle.
Not Jingle. Can I put Jingle?
Damn.
Can I put Jingle in the bag?
Yeah, you see he's covered with a little bit of margarita, and you kind of out of respect.
Is he really dead?
Yes. He is,
Okay.
He is.
I'll shake him. I'll pick him up and just like shake him a little bit. And
Sometimes the blood of your enemies can bring you back to life.
Oh, wow.
I just wanted to believe in magic. That's all.
Feywild-y pink mist and little magic and mishaps. Let's just get fucked up and make bad decisions.
Before you put him in the bag, can I like lay a hand on him and try to ask him what happened to him?
I just hand him over like a little dead ventriloquist dummy and just like, huh.
All right, so I'll cast Speak with the Dead.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, he did like die within the time frame. Like he just kind of died as you guys encountered him.
It's been a minute since you've done that one.
Oh, I missed it.
So
Yeah,
I'm
it's always
like,
fun.
other than the obvious, what happened?
Well, it does get a saving throw. It does not. I'm gonna be fair. It doesn't know you. If it knew who you were, then you might be able to. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, it's gonna actually make the saving throw against letting you talk to its dead body.
Can you flex its your credentials? I know Boxxo. Like Boxxo.
Oh yeah,
Five.
would he not recognize me?
You know what? That's actually a good point. Yeah, if you maybe drop the Boxxo card before you cast a spell, and the friend, the word of his leader, so to speak, would probably he just fail to save, and then you get 5 questions. You see the spirit. It's kind of creepy as Riel hands you this kind of like lifeless doll. It's just the hanging body of this goblin. And as you cast the spell, his head snaps back up, but his eyes are exploded outward. The veins that connect to the back of the eyes still kind of dangling down the front of his face as these hollow pits just kind of hang and look at you. He doesn't really need his mouth to talk. The sound comes out without moving, but his teeth, just sharp and pointed, hang half open. It's quite a grisly sight. You hear the spirit from within. Answer, ask your questions.
What happened to you?
I was killed by the plants of the Feywild.
Damn.
Where are your comrades?
I only know where fuck is. Deep down. He always goes the deepest.
So high, so deep.
Oh my god.
This is very serious.
It's good to know.
Why did you come here?
Boxxo wanted to know about the green jade goblins and their magics.
Is the magic real?
Yes, the stones devour their spirits, and the goblins are made anew.
Where are they?
Deep below. And you see the skin around his lips peels back, and his body decays as if a month has gone by in a moment. And just the hanging sack of his skin falls to the ground, and he with it.
And I'm like, was he gonna say below me?
I say, Real, get in there quick and scoop that up with your sack.
They're very deep.
Scoop it in there.
We need fruit.
We gotta go deeper before we get out of here.
You gotta go deep as fuck.
Yeah, deep, and we have to go as deep as fuck.
At least.
At least.
It's as deep as fuck.
At least that deep.
I was really tempted to be like, where is Jingle? Where is Django? Where? But then I was like, all right. Let's be.
Thank you for just cutting to the root. Like, what? Give us what the public wants.
Right. I thought it was to sit here and jingle jangle with my bangle, but no, it's fuck.
All about fuck.
Brian's still flapping his wings, knocking the spores of the mushrooms back and keeping him at bay.
Great. Well, then let us sally forth. Am I right?
Yeah.
Your
I
boys?
do
Absolutely.
I scooped the jingle corpse in the bag as suggested. Like, I mean, it's gross and like a raisin at this point, but
Yeah.
in it goes.
It's like it's like, you know, when you go to the lake and you bring chicken with you because you're going to the lake and it's dope to have chicken with you, but you put the chicken in like a plastic bag, but you didn't close it well enough. And while you were on the lake, some of the water got into the bag and it's just sat there in the sun for a while. And so now it's like bone and flesh and muscle, just kind of like a pile of that. That's basically what Jingle is right now.
The theme of tonight is bubble guts. A lot of bubble guts happening.
Oh.
If only I had had the foresight to name the episode Bubble Guts.
Only.
Oh.
No, you should name it Trouble Guts.
All right, so as Riao, you successfully scoop up. There's not really a check for it. You know, you just kind of like it's like filtering the top of a fish. You just kind of like get a couple of the little chunks of the margarita in there, but you think you got most of
I'll
of
Constitution for a barf check. Rial's got a knack for it.
It's true. Rial has a little trouble with some of the more disgusting things.
He has a weak disposition.
He certainly does.
You get the vapors. All
There we
right,
go.
All right.
but you know,
There we go. We're learning.
30, 20.
Alright.
30, 20.
I like
Massive.
the joint anyway. Yeah, Riao, you managed to scoop him up good and not add any of your own vomit to the mixture of what is left of Jingle.
I think I was about to vomit because it's still really gross. But then I remember how bad I felt when I threw up on Divot and like, hold it back. We got to get better. Like,
And Divot's nearby too, so it's like.
it was there.
And then you kind of look at Divot and his like, you know, his body's not decomposing that great either. So you know, it's just like, Constitution. You call upon it, it's there for you. You notice Brunor kind of just like working her way. It's kind of staying away from the edges of the map area where the mushrooms are, and kind of hugging the eastern wall as you go south. You know, again, you can kind of feel that like the path that you're walking is downward. You know, you feel the ground itself is kind of slushier mud, like recent waters have kind of washed through, and probably the thing that carved this cave in the first place. The green stone walls around you still kind of moving very slowly, not like the quick shifting labyrinth, but rather just almost like it feels like the mountain itself is alive. And as you kind of like navigate around this southern corner here, Brandon remembers to reveal, not cover, but reveal. You just see another, you know, you're kind of like at a little bit like, not again. It's a switchback. You know, you notice like, fuck, these winding tunnels. It's this endless labyrinth that you've been moving down. You see kind of like a little bit of a cliff edge, but where the water has recently washed through, you see kind of those strange fey plants, the brush again growing along the northern and southern parts as this path kind of winds south and east, down, you know, further and further.
And I don't see anything like obstructing this path or anything that would be like.
Make me a perception check.
Okay. Wow. Roll rolled a 23, baby.
All right, with your 23, no, yeah, there's nothing there. Again, you just there was like an invisible plant monster, so you look around to see if maybe another assassin vine or something of the like is there, but you feel confident that there's not.
I don't see shit. Then we're just gonna keep on strolling through, hugging one of the walls, just so that I don't get too lost. And I'm gonna peek around this corner, baby.
All right, sweet. As you kind of walk down that little pathway there, the spores of all of those blue and purple phosphorescent mushrooms and the glowing lights that gleam off of them from holes in the ceiling above you, they start to fade away. It's almost like looking back into a memory when you look back at the sunbeams and all these little pollen balls like puffing around of vibrant green and pink. You kind of keep going down, and it's like there's no longer the spores of all the mushrooms, but just kind of a slithering path. The mud on the ground with the moss and the algae. It actually kind of like it's starting to get steep enough where it's like if you're not careful, you start losing your footing and start sliding down. The plants on the side of the walls now dense and thick. You see they too kind of like seem to move almost wispily like the chorus of the song. Down this long path, probably around 50 feet away from you, you see the ground itself starts to crack with these vibrant jets of purple and white magic. You see there's a corner. It's almost like there's a crossroad in front of you. And you can see this vibrant, glowing purple light, like the brightest, fierce, like neon purple glowing light coming from the southwest, kind of around this corner. But you just see this vibrant, bright light. The direction headed to the east doesn't seem to have that same bright light. So let me reveal that.
Wow.
I'm gonna reveal it. Roll 20's doing its thing. Wow. So yeah, here's the like kind of here. I don't want to show it all. There you go. It's kind of a slimy path there. You see, there's just kind of this emanation of. That's where like the kind of cracks on the ground there at the south end of the map. These purple and white jetting magical. They don't read as the same kind of rock as the malachite stones around you.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna keep on. I don't see any. There's no bullshit. There's no bullshit on this guy.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's an 11, so.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You just see a bunch of plants that are just kind of shifting around you. You're looking around for like maybe another murder vine plant. And you don't see anything. You just see the vibrant purple light kind of emanating from this southern region over here.
I whisper to Brunor, I'm like, purple is my favorite color. And then I, myself invisible, and I want to like go check out that purple light.
All right, sweet. Sorry, I have to do something.
Uh-oh.
All right, so Divot, you kind of lead the way. You kind of slither past, and again, the footing underneath you is a little slick, but you, a rather dexterous fellow, managed to just kind of like let yourself slide a little bit, as you kind of slip down this slick moss. You slide down, and you see your feet. You kind of stop before stepping onto the white and the purple area. You kind of get a closer look at it. It's this really vibrant purple and white crystal. It's these the long jets, kind of like rhombuses of this stone that are like bleeding out away from around this area. But as you get closer, that blast of the smell of cinnamon with this really humid, damp wave starts smacking you in the face. You feel magical energy pulsing from around the corner.
Okay, but I am invisible, correct?
Yes.
Okay, can I like peek around the corner?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I just want to stick the corner of my vest around the corner.
Just one eye.
Shoulder.
No,
Shoulder action.
Knowing Bam, it'll be the one eye that's still focused on Tynna.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I'll be like, oh, cool,
The
Tynna's
sad
in here.
moment. Let's talk about
Sorry.
sad things again.
You don't see shit except
see-
Tynna.
You see Tynna, great. She's just like kicking it. All right, yeah, no, Divot, you know, like a kid sneaking in trying to get a peek at Santa Claus, you creep around the corner, even though invisible. You know, again, you start kind of feeling that energy, this pulsing vibration. You peek around the corner, Divot, and you see this massive 6-foot jetting cluster of these purple crystals. You see that, you feel that cold, chilly wind of Queen Mab. You almost feel that tickle inside your ears that you heard when she talked. But you see as this massive formation, 4 great giant jetting crystals that stick up, striking neon purple with white and silver streaks of magic through them, with small forming crystals at its base. It's so bright that, as the waves of bright light shoot at your face, it's hard to see. Even, it's not the spell light, so you're fine with your vest of eyes. But it's just, so strikingly bright that it's hard for you to focus at first. And then as your eyes start pushing through this wave of purple and pink energy, it just kind of burns your, socketed eyes. You look forward, and you see frozen inside one of the crystals is the body of a goblin. You see his frame is entirely covered in, from his long, slender fingertips, small little crystals are growing. And it's like this crystal itself is feeding and growing, using it as a nutrient. It's actually growing so fast that you see the white vines of stone just growing and gaining inside. I will now give you that. But yeah, it's in this it's in this little pocket. You see the tendrils, the slippery plants that surround the area. But this viciously intense purple crystal that just emanates that same cold energy that you recall in the presence of Queen Mab, on that white battlefield in the Feywild. You're like, oh, it's almost like she's there. And that is where we're gonna pick it up next time, guys.
Oh no!
Wait, honestly,
Crystal Guy. Oh, dude, there's still some cool stuff. Oh, yeah. No, see, I'm excited. Ooh,
guys, we're in Australia.
Dudes,
everything tries to kill you here.
Everything tries. Yeah, this is the no good, very bad cave. Oh, all right. Holy shit, dudes. What a freaking ride. Please come back next Tuesday. We are, I can promise you there's some pretty wild stuff yet to be discovered in this here Fey cave. So yes, thank you so much for riding that wave with us. Honestly, big shout out to the chat here on Twitch. You guys are absolutely just one of the best things in the world. You crack me up to no end. And honestly, I think that's part of what people like about this show so much, is what a dope community you guys are, for being so welcoming and awesome and just doing what you do. It's freaking such a gem. I'm high, so I'm all emotional. I love you guys. I love this cast. You guys are seriously so fucking good at playing D&D that it's, as a DM, it's just a treat. Thank you so much for telling this story with me, man. What a fucking treat. We do have a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you heard about it. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you forgot to load a bowl. But we like to take a lighter, like the sky blue one I didn't even know I had. Make sure you're not going to light any of your friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. Lighters up. Didn't burn my mustache. Thanks for playing D&D with you guys. We love you so freaking much. Holy crap. Next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Come hang out on our socials. Join the Discord. We are having too much fun over there. It is a good time full of Jimmy Jams. And holy crap, we love you so much. And fucking play D&D with your friends. Celebrate who you are. And be super nice. Like, why the fuck not? Love you guys. Love to my cast. Love to everybody. WeeDnD loves you. And we will see you next week.
So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.